What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Week 15 is in the books. Week 16 is underway, man. We are 10, like 9.5 weeks, 10 weeks out from this meet. Just a refresher, it is January 23rd is the meet. Yeah, we're getting down to not really crunch time, but getting close, getting closer. Yeah, week 15 was decent. Had some ups, had some downs. High bar squat on Tuesday, 380 for three, went pretty good. Felt pretty good. Board press, 210 by three, easy. 445 by four, deficit deadlift, way too easy. 303 bench, 200 by three, really easy. 420 comp squat. Misgrooved that one pretty bad. The weight like completely shifted to my left leg, like halfway up. When you're watching the video, you can kind of maybe see a little hiccup in the bar speed. Yeah, just a misgroove, but still hit the weight, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Talk about squats in a bit though. 230 comp bench, super easy, and 525 comp deadlift, super easy. So, I don't have too much to say. Like, my shoulder feels decent, my glute feels okay. Just wanted to talk about squats though a little bit. Like, squats, and maybe this is just kind of how it goes sometimes, but like, my bench feels super locked in, feels super good, feels like I can put kind of anything on the bar and bench it, it just feels really locked in and good. My form, my technique, everything. Deadlifts are kind of the same way. Feel really, really tight, feel really good. Squats, though, are just kind of like, feel like crap. Happened yesterday, too. Did 385 on high bar, and after 365 moved pretty well, and 385 just moved like an 8, and kind of floored me how bad it moved, how bad it felt. Like, overall on squats, it just like I feel loose. I don't feel tight. So I don't know, man. But like I said, like maybe that's just kind of how it goes, because like my bench and my deadlift are feeling really good. So it's like usually not all three lifts are feeling good at the same time. Could be also a factor of I've only comp squatted 6 times in the last 15 weeks. So that's not very much. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like crap. I don't know. Just like I said, I think the biggest thing is just I feel loose. I don't feel tight. Like my legs feel loose. That's a weird way to put it, but like my legs feel loose. I don't know. It just doesn't feel on point. I'm kind of like thinking about just like the meat and stuff, and kind of becoming more okay with like. So my original goal at the meet was to do 502, but gonna kind of I'll be happy with like 491. I think my best squat's 485, so somewhere between that 491 and 502 range, I'm gonna be happy with, considering how squats are feeling. And granted, we still have like 9 weeks to go, so everything could change. But man, it just doesn't feel great right now. But I guess it is a good thing though that bench and deadlift are feeling good, so I can't complain too much. I did have one programming thing to mention. I'm pretty sure there are 3 back off sets on my 303 bench, and I kind of only want to keep it to 2 back off sets, like all the way across the board for bench. Just with how my shoulder feels. Shoulder feels okay. There is some pain there though, when I am benching, so just trying to watch it. It is supposed to be a deload week too, week 16. We deload every 4 weeks. I was kind of thinking, I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow, but I was kind of thinking, because I think in a typical deload week, we usually take a set off, and so that would mean 6 total sets in the week for bench, which I would accumulate 6 total sets if I just did my day 1 and day 3 bench. If I skip my day 2 bench, which would be the 303 tempo. Gonna see kind of how I feel tomorrow. I might skip my 303 bench to deload. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. My shoulder feels fine, but like I said, there is some pain in there. So just trying to keep it again cautious. But man, the weights are moving great. I mean, yesterday board press 220 for a triple, freaking easy, 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 easy. So yeah, just trying to be overly cautious with my shoulder. But yeah, that's feeling solid. Onto your video, man. Just a few things. You mentioned you hit 495 for 8 on deadlift, and you were maybe going to go for like 9 and then 10. So I was kind of curious if you have done that. 495 for 10 on deadlift would be pretty sick. You said you haven't done that before. That'd be a pretty cool little milestone. I kind of cracked up when you mentioned like talking to Bryce about how you miss like training super hard like all the time, and how you said you used to do like a 7x5 on squats. And I think everybody has that story, you know, like mine was more so with the accessory work than with the main movements. I did 5-3-1 for a super long time, which kind of had a little bit more of an emphasis. Certain aspects of 5-3-1 had more of an emphasis on accessory work, or at least I put more emphasis on it. And like your like 7x5 on squats was my like, I used to do 100 dips in a workout, and then my shoulders got trashed, obviously, and they still are. And then I started doing like, well, I got to do a bunch of back work. So I started literally doing 100 pull-ups a workout. And then that kind of started trashing my shoulders. So no wonder I have trashy shoulders, right? And then like, I remember distinctly when I was up in college, taking like the heaviest dumbbells I could, like 140s or something like that, and doing, you know, multiple sets and multiple reps of dumbbell rows. I remember my shoulder getting numb. I know there was like it hurt, and I remember it just going numb on me, and up in like here and stuff, up in like in rotator cuff area, just doing stupid freaking stuff. Like, yeah, no freaking crap, my shoulders are wrecked. We all have done those dumb things though. I guess you could call them dumb, but you have to do them, right? Like, you gotta like know how far you can push it before you go over the edge. And usually it happens when you're younger, and usually you learn from it. I know I've definitely learned from it. I am a much more cautious lifter now. It meant my mindset, especially after working with you, I was always, before working with you, I was always kind of more heavily emphasized in accessory movements. And then when I started working with you, we like basically we do accessories obviously, but there's a much bigger emphasis on the main movements and variations of the main movements. And I definitely think there's more value in that style of training. I like that style of training more. I see the value in doing more accessories, but yeah, I like doing main movements and variations of those more. You mentioned about getting ripped, man. I know you mentioned that before. So what are you weighing right now? What do you want to get down to? I'm kind of curious on that. If you're going to do that. You mentioned you went on a puppy date. That's pretty exciting. Dogs are always the best excuse to go on a date. Hopefully that went well. Maybe you've gone on a second one. Let me know. That's freaking awesome though, man. That's awesome. Sounds like everything's going like pretty good for you, so I'm really happy for you, man. Yeah, you mentioned too, like you're gonna go like on an. I was kind of interested in this, an 8-day like microcycle, or an 8-day training week, and you're gonna kind of ish do like a squat, bench, deadlift, kind of, like every other day or something. I think you mentioned. You'll have to let me know how that goes, man. Sounds pretty cool. And I think you mentioned something about like when you deadlift first or something, or have like a deadlift emphasis day or something, that your deadlift has been exploding. So that's pretty tight. I like that. But yeah, man, other than that, I wanted to mention one more thing with squats, just kind of gauge what your thoughts are on this. So want to continue to do up until this next meet what we've been doing. But like after this next meet, I was wondering what your thoughts on this were. Like kind of putting deadlift on the back burner and trying to get my squat up. So my thought was we would squat 3 times, like after this meet, maybe squatting somehow like 3 times a week, like a high bar squat and an SSB, like a high bar squat, like an SSB tempo pin squat, and then like a comp squat, and like squat bench, and then squat bench dead. So we'd only deadlift on 1 day a week. It'd just be like a comp day, to try and get my squat up, because it's just been something I've been thinking about for a long time, about how I want my squat to go. I want my squat to be higher than what it is, obviously. As far as like lifetime goals go, like I'm much, much closer and I feel much more confident about um, getting closer to like a 700 dead than getting like well, originally I said a 600 squat, but that's going to be a long ways away, if ever. So, yeah, I'd like to get my squat into the 420s, into the 430, sorry, 520s, 530s, get it in that range, kind of where my deadlift is right now, where it's in like that 620 to 650-ish range. Hopefully at this next meet, get my squats somewhere there, maybe next year. So, it's curious what your thoughts on that were. I don't know if you have other clients that are like super, like much better deadlifters, like deadlift in the mid sixes, low to mid sixes, and they squat in the fours, low fives. If they do anything in particular to get their squats up or to narrow that gap. And I know I'm built to deadlift. I have really long arms and really long legs and a short torso. So I am built to conventional deadlift, and my squat's pretty ugly. So I do know that. So it will be tough. But I was just kind of curious your thoughts on that. Hope everything is good, man. Let me know if anything's crazy new in your life, and I'll talk to you later.